So what I was saying was the Tampa Bay Rays. Here is their stadium that they're going to have. They worked out a memorandum of understanding with Hillsborough College. This stadium, and I'm going to bring up the maps to show you guys this as well. This stadium is going to be right across the street from where the Yankees spring training facility is, George M. Steinbrenner Field, which is also right across the street from Raymond James Stadium. So they have this whole kind of sports complex happening there in Tampa. And you can see, man, I'm gonna blow it up so you can see the whole thing on the screen there. There we go. And you can see the promenade in the front there, and it looks great. Now, listen, I happen to do a lot of these sort of developments, not so much on the sports side in Volusia County and Daytona Beach, but for the hotels and even the apartments. And these renderings are always gorgeous. I mean, you're never gonna have a bad rendering, right? You're not gonna win over the county commission if your rendering stinks. So the renderings are, this looks beautiful. Probably not going to be like this, and they're even saying that in their press release, Tampa Bay, and I'll get to that quote in a second. But you can see a beautiful promenade there. If you look inside, you can see the stadium. I got an inside photo of the stadium. I'll show you as well, rendering the stadium. But it looks great, and they're going to have their little development right next to it, mixed use with restaurants. I think they're calling it Champions Quarter, and all that stuff is really cool. And I think one of the best things that they're doing, folks, it's something that you've heard me say on this show before. Florida teams, let me bring myself back up now that I got that off the screen. Florida teams should be smaller ballparks, and their ballpark is going to be, depending on where you read, 30 to 31,000, and that's what you should do, man. You shouldn't have big stadiums in a place like Florida where they do have a hard time drawing fans. Hopefully, the new digs will bring fans in. Of course, a winning team always does, and Tampa is always very nimble is the word I'll use in that situation, as far as analyzing players. But yeah, so the Rays, they're coming up with a mixed-use district. It's on the Dale Mabry campus of Hillsborough College, and they're going to have a Champions Quarter, as I was saying before. The rendering that I showed you, the team is calling an early look, and that's basically what I was just saying, right? Basically the renderings that they roll out. They're whiz bang wow stuff, and then not that stuff that's finalized is bad, but a lot of times it doesn't look like what the renderings actually show. They called it a vision. It's going to continue to evolve based on further study of the site itself, where it's going to go on the campus of the college, Hillsborough College. The ballpark design concepts when they finalize them, and they're also talking about input from local leaders and residents. Guess which one they care about the least? The residents. They're going to do what's going to make them the most money, right? That's what they're going to do on a 31,000 seat ballpark. So again, perfect. 31,000 seats is exactly what it should be, 100%. So that all went down earlier this month. Well, in the last week the renderings came out, but earlier in late in January. I'm sorry, I still think we're in January. Late in January, like around the 20th, is when the Hillsborough College Board of Trustees adopted the non-binding memorandum of understanding. But they're going into negotiations. They got the backing of Florida Governor DeSantis, MLB Commissioner Manfred, both are on board. So you got the heavy hitters on Tampa's side. They think Tampa should definitely stay a Major League Baseball city. So they want to make that happen. So it seems like it's going to come to fruition. And Tampa, by the way, is an awesome area. Donna and I have been there quite a bit. So there's a lot of fun things to do if you go in for a weekend. You know, if your significant other isn't necessarily a baseball fan, you go to one game and then you shoot over to the Riverwalk. Some great stuff there. And I happen to have blogged on the Riverwalk once or twice. So go to chucklongisland.com and check out the blogs, and you can see where to stay and where to eat and stuff like that. Yeah, and we've been to that section where the stadium's going to be. And when Raymond James Stadium lets out in the 75,000 people, it is hard to get an Uber. Just a warning. So 31,000, it'll be a little bit easier, I suppose, at the Rays' new ballpark. But yes, that was a tough one. Yeah, I said I was going to bring up the map. Let me share my screen here. Once again, here's the stadium itself. Give you a shot of that again, what the Rays are looking at. This is a rendering right now. And then that building on the right-hand side You see where the promenade is, and on the right over there, it says Rays, and there's a green space. Probably, I'm thinking that's going to be their offices. That's probably what they detailed in their presser. Those are going to be the offices for the team. To shoot right across the street. Nice little walkway over there. They're gonna recreate Utah Road. For folks who are familiar with Camden Yards, Utah Road goes across goes behind right field and goes all the way out and kind of lets out like a block or so from the harbor. Um, and it's pedestrian, right, with all kinds of like a wall of fame, and every home run that has landed in Utah Road is marked. So they're going to recreate that at the Rays Park as well, which is a great idea. It's going to run through their mixed use development, and that's an awesome idea. There is actually a website if you guys want to keep up on this, and if my editor Stephen, who adopted the Rays, wants to keep up on this, there is a website. I'm going to throw that up on the board. Here we go, right here. So the Rays new ballpark, like I said, the capacity would be 31,000, the lowest of any home stadium in the majors right now. You can get more information at newballpark.rays.com. So why don't we shoot over to that and take a look at some of the stuff, and we can get a real good idea of what is going on with the Tampa Bay Rays. We're always a productive baseball team and fun to watch.